Alright guys, here we are on NR2003. It is a very late, well, it's past midnight anyway. It's pretty late for me, but we're gonna be watching some racing here tonight. Just been something I've wanted to do for a while, and it allows me to test a few things with the stream. So welcome on in if you are watching. I do appreciate it. If you do want to take the opportunity and ask me anything in the chat, go right ahead. Let me just make sure everything is working properly here. See, do we have life? It looks like we do. All right, that's good. All right, so the race we're going to be watching here to start out is the 2005 Daytona 500. This race, of course, was won by Jeff Gordon, so it was a very exciting race in the end. Jeff just held off in the first ever Daytona 500 to end under green-white checkered. So we're going to be running 100 laps here with the 2005 roster. We're just going to be watching this race, so let's go ahead and get into it right now. Now, I am pretty new to kind of simulating NASCAR 2003 races, so hopefully I'll do an okay job here. And yeah, we're going to be super chill tonight, so let's go ahead and get right into it.
Drivers, to your...
And let's get out on the track, and we'll have to take a look at who is where around here. All right, so it looks like we have Tony Stewart on the pole, followed by Ryan Newman. Let's see, here we go. Tony Stewart on the pole, followed by Newman, Jamie McMurray, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, that guy in the 01. Is that, who is that? Joe Nemechek driving the 01 these days. All right, very interesting. Then we have Greg Biffle, Jeremy Mayfield, Jarrett, and Casey Kane up here near the top 10. So we'll go ahead and jump back up to Tony Stewart here. So we get the command to start the race. Alright, so they roll off the grid for 100 laps here at Daytona. Decided to do 100 laps just to let some pit stops play out. We do have yellow flags enabled, so we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, this is something I've been really looking forward to doing for a while. Of course, NR2003 is so great because you can just watch almost any type of race. And it is the best for this sort of late night chill out, you know, watch some racing. Any race you can imagine, pretty much, so... I appreciate you guys if you're watching along with me. I hope you enjoy. Just come down to get the 2005 Daytona 500 underway. Alright, so there's the green flag. Tony Stewart will lead them. And he will hold the lead, it looks like, down into turn 1. So revving up to speed. Looks like Casey Kane's already trying to take it 3 wide. I really like that white and red kind of inverted Dodge paint scheme he's got. But Tony Stewart leads by a length down the back straight for the first time. Stewart will lead lap 1. As Rusty Wallace gets single file behind him, followed by Biffle, then McMurray. Nemechek in the 01 on the inside lane with Biffle. It's like Wallace wants to make a move to the inside, but Tony will close him off there, off into turn 1. Hold the lead down the back straight for the second time. They're single file, 5 cars back now. Looks like Biffle doesn't want to wait around. He'll go to the inside, but almost no help with them. Stewart dominant up to this point. He's been able to pull out a decent gap every time on the back straight. Nobody's even come close. Stewart still leads as they fan out behind him. Still no challengers for the Home Depot Chevrolet. Jimmy Johnson goes to the inside. Kenseth dekes down, but he will not go with him. Johnson will get up to second position, though. Nobody's had anything for Stewart up to this point. Kenseth now past Johnson. Jeff Gordon will make a move to the inside, so he is likely to move up to second here. And he will clear off into second, although Kurt Busch wants to make a look to the inside. Does Kenseth have a run on the outside? He does not, so Stewart still with no challengers as they come on to lap 5. I see Kyle Petty up near the top 5. That is a very interesting sight to say the least. Kyle Petty now into 5th place proper as there are several cars single file on the bottom. Kurt Busch will pull out to the inside, but no help with him. Stewart will move down and catch him though. And Kyle will make a move with Kurt Busch on the inside. That could bring him up into 3rd place. Clear sailing at the front so far for Stewart, followed by Kurt Busch and Kyle Petty in 3rd position. Bottom is single file, several cars back now, no challenge from the outside. Stewart still leads down the back. Dale Jarrett with the move to the inside. Will they be able to make up any ground as Stewart has been dominant? Still no challengers as they're single file, about 7 or 8 cars back on the inside lane. Just riding around as it is extremely early in this race. Kyle Petty gets pinned on the outside right there. I don't think that's going to work out. That allowed Dale Jarrett to move up into 3rd now. For the most part, we've got one big pack, a couple of stragglers, about 10 seconds off the front of the field. We'll see if they become an issue once they come around to get lapped. That'll be quite a few laps yet, but it could happen. Stewart is still the man to beat here, coming on to the start of lap 10, although Mark Martin's getting a run on the inside. Just nobody's been able to make that final move and get past Stewart. So they're 3 wide coming out of 4. Kenny Schrader way out there. Pushing Dave Blaney up towards the front. Jarrett's going to get back to the inside of Martin. Move him up into second place. Kyle Petty's almost fallen out of the top 10 already there, stuck on the outside. We're going to be 1/10 of the way through this race. Tony Stewart has dominated, led all 10 laps, hasn't even been close. No challengers so far. All of a sudden, we got Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. together on the bottom, on the inside. Now up into 5th and 6th position. That would be quite a fearsome tandem if they do get together. Jarrett maybe with a look to the inside of Stewart, not quite close enough on this occasion. Ricky Rudd will take a run to the inside of Jarrett, and he will move up into second now with Junior behind him. Let's go on board with Stewart here. So nobody's even been close enough to challenge. Looking back, Ricky Rudd, you see, this is where Ricky really needs to be gaining. Dang, John, you're still up on the East Coast watching. You're a madman. Rudd gets a really good run. He will look to the inside, but he backs out of it as Dale is all of a sudden down there. Who'd you'd expect to make his way to the front? Dale does get pinned on the outside. Mark Martin now will work to his inside. Martin with a good run. Will he get a chance here to get Stewart? He will look to the inside. Can he pull it off? Jeff Gordon will go with him. Mark does get to the inside on the entry to 3, so that should be a new leader. The outside lane doesn't have much help at the moment. And Jeff Gordon will look to get to the inside of Martin. I don't know if he's going to get there, getting a push from Leffler. Not quite. Martin will chop his nose, so Mark Martin leads. So Jeff looks to get to his inside now and get up to the front of the pack. Not quite able to get the nose in on the way to 1. Lots of shuffling here early in the race. Kyle Petty was once in 3rd position. Now I'm pretty sure he's outside of the top 20. So Ford leads from 3 Chevrolets behind him. Will Jason Leffler try and push Jeff Gordon up to the front? The 21 has always been one of your favorites. Yeah, that's a really good paint scheme. All the Wood Brothers, like, Motocraft stuff. Always looks great. I was mentioning earlier how in this set I really like Casey Kane's like red and white inverted scheme. I think that's a really good looking car right there. I like that one a lot. Slick. Alright, so Mark Martin still leads this race. Go up through the field here. Carl Edwards making a move in his rookie season. Let's check on these back markers. So we have a group of stragglers back here. Derek Cope, looks like Truex, Terry Labonte, Jimmy Spencer, is that? Who's in the 61? Is it Jeff Fuller? No, Tony Raines. Right, so these guys are in turn 1 right here. And the leader is that coming off of 4? Uh-oh. They got about 3/4 of track on those guys now. Yep, they're about 20 seconds behind. Yeah, Dodge is always nice. Carl Edwards making a big move here to the inside. But nobody goes with him. I don't know if that's going to work out too well for him. So he can get to the inside of the 24. The Fords will get together there. Gordon will probably cycle back now that he's on the outside. Carl Edwards looks to the inside. Looks like we're going to have a new leader here, the rookie. Although he doesn't block the bottom, and Jimmy Johnson with a great push on the inside. Not quite able to get there, but that will get Jimmy up to second position. All of a sudden, it's 4 out of 5 of the top 5 is Fords. The lone Chevrolet and Jimmy Johnson in second position. Jimmy gets a big run off of 2. He'll go to the inside. Looks like he's going to have it. Kenseth will go with him. That's going to leave Edwards and Busch stranded on the outside. Seems like a lot of times the move comes from either the second or third car back, and that just really breaks up the momentum of the outside lane. And the move to the inside almost always works because of it. So we're coming up to 1/5 of the way through this race. Tony Stewart dominated the first portion of this race, and he has fallen just about out of the top 20 as things are shuffling a lot here. Rookie Kyle Busch also snuck his way into the top 10 now. So we got 2 of the rookies up here. And Dave Blaney making a move for third position. No threat to the top 3 right now. It's single file. Johnson, Kenseth, Blaney. Is that Bobby Hamilton in the 32? Who's that driving the 32? I think it's Bobby Hamilton. It is Bobby Hamilton Jr. Interesting. Good run for him up in 4th place with a rookie Kyle Busch now in 5th. Oh yeah, I really like that Jack Daniels '07. It's pretty slick looking, although the kind of black and white, you think of one person when you see those colors on a car. Could almost mistake it if it was off in the distance. Blaney's making big moves on the inside. He's about to be up into second position now with Kyle Busch pushing him. Kyle's going to make a move to the inside. So he's going to be up into second now. The Hendrick Chevrolets are now 1-2. So it's getting really dicey behind them. I was about to mention we've gone all green so far, but they're getting 3 wide behind the top 3 or a single file. Ricky Red with a nice move to the inside of Blaney right there. That's going to leave Blaney all alone on the outside. He's going to get swallowed up quickly. It's like the slower pack is about half the track behind the leaders. A little bit more than half track, so we're definitely going to get swallowed up at some point. Tony Stewart's almost at the back of the lead pack after having dominated the first 10 laps of this race. You're pulling for Ricky Rudd? I like it. Well, the second I read your comment, he got pinned on the outside and he's gonna be moving backwards, but plenty of time to shuffle back up through the field. So looks like Newman's gonna get a look to the inside of Johnson. He's just gonna get there off into 3. And we have yet another leader now, and Ryan Newman. Harvick will try and follow him through, get past Johnson as well. Travis Kvapil up in the top 5 all of a sudden. Kenny Schrader coming along with them on the bottom there behind Elliott Sadler. Harvick will power right on through to the lead. Newman did not hold that for long, but we got Elliott Sadler looking to the inside of Harvick. Getting a nice push there from Kurt Busch. Now Sadler to the lead. As it's tough to hold on to the lead right now. Sadler's going to come down and chop Kurt Busch's nose clean off there. Oh, Rudd was a very good driver. I'm pretty sure they named him like Virginian of the Year, like person from Virginia, one year for his like contributions. It's Kurt Busch now will go back to the lead. Powering through with Joe Nemechek. Short-lived Elliott Sadler reign. Pit stop's probably not that far off at this point, so that's really going to break things up. Assuming that it does go green, it'll be interesting to see what happens on pit road. So Ryan Newman went from the lead of this race to stuck on the outside. He is getting shuffled back badly back there. Lost a ton of spots, just able to tuck into line on the outside. Greg Biffle looking to the inside. Kenseth tries to block him off, but he will not get there. So Biffle will take over in third place. Jeremy Mayfield to come right through along with Kyle Busch. He's made his way back up into the top 5. Got a Mike Bliss sighting there. About 6th or 7th place right now. And all of a sudden, Casey Kane's on his way up through the field. He was nearly at the back of this pack, maybe about 5 laps ago. And we have another lead change right here as Biffle will dive it to the inside. And Mike Bliss looks to go with him. They're going to end up 3 wide there in the tri-oval for 5th position. Casey Kane got stuck in the sucker hole in the middle. Going to be 3 wide, quite a few lanes back there. Starting to get pretty racy after a calm first segment. We haven't mentioned his name yet today, but Jeff Burton will move up into 2nd out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden we got Mikey and Dale together in the top 5. Where'd they come from? It's a question I asked myself a lot watching these plate races back in the day. Dale will go to the inside. Burton joins him. Mikey stuck out there. And Dale will push Jeff right on through into the lead. Dale looking to get to the inside of Jeff Burton. And the crowd's about to blow their top. As Dale Earnhardt Jr. will go to the lead of the Daytona 500. Although Mark Martin will try and make it 3 wide on the bottom. We're 3 wide now for the lead. Wait, go back. Mark Martin takes it over and Dale does not get his chance in the sunlight. And Jason Leffler gets past him. So still hard battling in this pack. The lead definitely isn't safe, no matter who you are. Who do we got back here in the number 4? Is that Mike Wallace? making a move into the top 5. I didn't expect that. So we got Jason Leffler and Mike Wallace in the top 5 of the Daytona 500. Bobby Labonte will now make a move to the inside up into second place. Another driver we haven't seen much of up to this point. We have pit stop starting. Looks like Travis Kvapil and Scott Riggs hit pit road. So about lap 35, it looks like, is the window. Really want to make sure you pit with somebody. Yeah, Bobby Labonte is another classic, late 90s, early 2000s guy that I remember. Rusty, of course. Tony Stewart making a move to the inside. He has come back from the back of the pack all the way up into second position. Wilson will make pit stops this time. Looks like another group will be heading down, including Tony Stewart. They dive it onto pit road. So Mark Martin will lead with Rusty Wallace. This is going to break up the pack a little bit, it looks like. Is Kenny Wallace in this race? It's a good question. Let's see if he's in here. What car would he have been driving at the time? I don't think he is. So sorry. He was driving like the, last I remember, like the 23 car, right? Like the Stacker 2. He was driving that car at some point, right? Rusty Wallace makes a pass on Mark Martin, although that will slow them down a lot here as they run just 2 of them in front of the pack. They really want to just be drafting, honestly. Oh, the 55? Interesting. So we got guys trying to get back on the track here with the leaders coming. This might get a little awkward, especially with Mark Martin making a move. Martin will clear up into the lead. Will they come down this time? Looks like they're slowing. They will enter pit road, so we're going to have to see where these two come out in relation to the rest of the field. Will staying out long work out for them? Interesting to see the Ford and the Dodge working together here. Although they pit right next to each other, so this is actually a great strategy call. So they'll get out right next to each other as well. Oh, they only take 2 tires. Very, very interesting. So it looks like just gas and 2 tires right here. We're going to have to see where the field comes out in relation to them. It looks like we got some drivers coming up fast here. Don't tell me Robbie Gordon's in the lead. That must not be right. This must be the second pack. Looks like it's gonna work out for Mark and Rusty as I do not see any challengers. We'll take a look here. It looks like the next group is actually coming up right there. It would be Dale Jarrett and Dave Blaney. They're actually, oh no, that's Kevin Harvick, excuse me. They're actually coming up with a lot of pace. But Mark's going to move up and kind of block them off, so they're going to pack up a little bit here. Mark Martin does still hold the lead. So this is your lead pack. Yeah, Kane's car is really nice. One of my favorite schemes in this set. Looks like things have divided into groups here. As we've got this lead pack with a couple cars trailing. And then about 7 seconds down the road, 7 to 8 seconds, we've got the second group. And then further back, of course, we've got the guys who are way off the pace. And this pack will form into one here. As, oh no. Who is it? Is that Derek Cope? Look out! Oh no, I think that's Jimmy Spencer. See ya! Oh, he's causing problems. He also has a bit of damage. I wonder how that happened. And Mark Martin is going to strip away on his own. He was able to clear the lapper, no problem. Surely this isn't viable. He will get swallowed up by that pack behind before long. Rusty Wallace and Dave Blaney get a huge run. Rusty's going to go to the inside and he's going to take the lead. That's not where you want to be at a restrictor plate track all by yourself in the front. You just absolutely get destroyed by the draft. All of a sudden, we got two Scots up here in the top 5. I want to say that's Scott Wimmer right there, and then Scott Riggs in the 10. Just have to double check. I'm 90% sure that's Wimmer. Okay, it is. Definitely an interesting top 5 here. Rusty Wallace, Hamilton Jr., Scott Riggs, Bobby Labonte, and Mark Martin, the old man, making a move to the inside. Mark does not care. He's just going to take it 3 wide at the bottom, leave Bobby in the sucker hole. Mark Martin must have a pretty fast car to be making these moves. We see the pack behind from 12th on back. They were 5.12 seconds back at the end of last lap. See if they're gaining. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they might be losing out a little bit, although Derek Cope might have just gotten back there. Slow him up a bit. Mark Martin will go straight back to the lead on the bottom. He is super fast. That Ford is going to be tough to beat here today, it looks like. The pack of lappers is ahead, so this might get ugly up here. So Jason Leffler falls off this top group, so it's just going to be a 10-car pack. Labonte looking to the inside, but Martin will come down and chop the nose. How are these lap cars going to get dealt with? It's going to get very interesting here. Try and go on board here with Martin as he comes up to these lappers. As they are 2 wide at least in front of him, so it's going to be tough to negotiate. Martin has a comfortable lead as they are a single file quite a few lanes back. Mark's going to be begging for a blue flag here, as he really just doesn't have anywhere to go. This is the scariest sight in iRacing, by the way. You're the leader and you're coming up on lappers that are too wide. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. Hamilton Jr. is right on the back bumper of Martin. They are pretty single file in this top pack though. Martin's just gonna go right through it. He's gonna get pinned on the bottom. Who's gonna be able to make their way through will be the leader of this race. As this is really gonna bring a lot of people back into this race. Jason Leffler will likely catch right back up as the lead pack is slowed way down. This might bring all those guys 6 seconds back right back into it as well. Although Martin will look to the inside by himself. Martin looking to get clear. He's gotten past quite a few now. There's Tony Raines in front of him. Come on, Tony. On board with Mark, he's going to look to the inside, so this is the last car he needs to clear. And he will get it done. And it looks like most of the lead pack has made their way to the inside, so they're going to follow Mark right through. Worked out about as well as he'd like for Mark Martin right there. He was able to navigate the traffic and clear on the bottom. Though Rusty Wallace with a really big run. These two have been dominating this middle section of the race. Rusty will clear to the lead now as we start lap 50. So nearly at the halfway point. It has been an up and down race. Many lead changes. Looks like we've got about two or three main packs here. At the lead group. Another group about 6-7 seconds off here. And then another group about 13 to 15 seconds back. And Jeff Gordon is lumbering around in 33rd right now. He's probably going to need a caution if he wants to get back up to the front. As they cross the halfway point, Rusty Wallace still leads. Oh man, yeah, you definitely got to get back on. Although it is tough to, like you're saying, without any of the mods, you know, because I swear some things it feels like I set up so long ago I wouldn't know how to do it again. Like all my stuff with cam hack and, you know, just other settings. But it's definitely worth it no matter what, and there's always still great new stuff coming out. So we have another new leader, Kevin Harvick momentarily, but it looks like Travis Kvapil's going to get to the lead. Not quite there on the inside. Harvick has time to block him off as they'll go 3 wide for 3rd place now. And Rusty's going to lose a lot of ground. As Robbie Gordon is managing to keep up here with the draft. It's very interesting Dave Blaney will get to the inside, so he's back up in a second. He's been a strong contender all day long. Looks like we have a move for the lead here as Dave Blaney and Scott Riggs go to the inside, leave Harvick out to dry. And now Dave Blaney will be the leader of the 2005 Daytona 500. Oh yeah, I mean, it's still a fantastic racing simulator, even stock. Shoot, kind of the reason I wanted to do this stream was that I just used to watch races, like, pretty much to go to bed to at night on my old laptop, which could barely run NR2003 without mods. Bobby Labonte powers up into second, so Dave Blaney still leads. And Robbie Gordon, for some reason, is third place in this pack. What a guy, making moves. Working for the Chevy cause as Chevrolets are 1, 2, 3 in the pack. They're coming up on a couple more lappers here. See if Dave Blaney can navigate them as well as Mark Martin did. These guys have no drafting help, so they're going to be very slow. Kyle Busch, it looks like, has lost the pack. It's getting really dicey here. Bobby Labonte gets to the inside of Blaney. Where will Jimmy Spencer block? Pretty sure that's Jimmy Spencer. We'll go to the inside, so can Dave Blaney power around on the outside? It looks like it's no as the 50 pulls up in front of Dave Blaney. It's going to allow Bobby Labonte to get through. Poor Dave. And Kyle's going to get out of the way, so Bobby Labonte will take the lead. And he'll be clear on the inside by himself. So Tony Raines is going to force it 3 wide to the bottom. Okay, Tony. This is proof of concept for that team. Could have done it. And Mark Martin, all by himself, is just going to power right to the inside and take over the lead. That is going to be a fast and tough machine to beat when it comes down to it. Finally, Tony Raines get pushed to the outside and he'll lose out a lot. And everybody's going to go to the bottom, leave Mark Martin on his own out there. He's proven he doesn't need the help, but getting railroaded on the inside is not good. He's going to lose a lot of spots out there. No friends for old man Mark. And we take a look at the fastest laps. Actually, Kenseth with the fastest with a 46 flat. Well clear the fastest lap. But it seems like Mark Martin has been pretty fast. Although we say that he only has the 31st fastest lap, but he's been able to make great moves when it comes down to time to make the passes. As Kvapil looks to go to the lead yet again. Mark Martin just needs to shuffle his way back up, and I'm sure he'll be a player once again at the front. Rusty Wallace will hold lap 58. Tony Raines all of a sudden back on the inside pushing Scott Riggs. What is this man doing? Rusty's pulled a bit of a gap at the front. That is not what you want, as that's going to allow Riggs to get a pretty big run. If only he could get a push. It's hard to say. Like, I prefer the old way for the most part, just because you get a lot more variety in the things that could happen. You know, you could have an entirely green flag race, you could have a caution fest anyway. You know, with the stage racing, you just always know that at X lap there is going to be a caution. Like, you know, you're going to be able to pit, you know, if you want to. I just think that kind of takes some of the, that, you know, anything could happen attitude out of it. Because a lot of racing, you know, what appeals to me is the strategy of it. I really like Formula One in that regard. Of course, stage racing does have a strategy of its own, but, you know, you kind of have these set times where you know you can pit, rather than having to make a lot tougher calls, you know, whether you pit under green flag, hope for a yellow that you know might not come. Wallace still leads, followed by Riggs. The next person for position is fourth in line there. Be Scott Wimmer and Mark Martin already back up into fourth position, fifth in line. Robbie Gordon mercifully pulls out of the way. As we come into the closing stages of this race. One more pit stop at least guaranteed. I'm going to leave the race playing, but I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, so I will be right back. And you can, hopefully nothing crazy will happen when I'm gone. All right, we're back. Let's see here. Well, the leader is not in the lead anymore. As things have shuffled up a lot. Looks like Bobby Labonte will be going to the lead here. Yeah, I mean, the stage racing definitely adds, you know, a whole nother element to it, but you're just losing out on the possibility. I mean, you know, think about the endurance and the strategy that would come with running a full race under green. You know, if that could happen. We got Dave Blaney going to the inside, back up to the lead with the help of Robbie Gordon. The race back to line under caution is another good thing. I mean, I can understand it for safety. man, I can't even make it through a 100-lap race without having to go to the bathroom. This is why I'll never win the iRacing Indy 500, because last year under caution I had to park it in my pick box and go to the bathroom real quick in the middle of the race. I'm sure the same will happen this year. And so Blaney still leads. That second pack is still about 6.5 to 7 seconds behind. Although it looks like they might just all coalesce into one pack. Jeff Gordon is 15 seconds off the pace in 32nd. It's not looking good. Got Kvapil moving to the inside now. He's come very close, but hasn't really been able to be at the front of the pack much in this race. Harvick's going to power to the inside of him, so again, he will not get to the lead. Start going 3 wide back there. Damn lap cars. And I was just about to comment, when will the next pit stops come? Bobby Labonte dives onto pit road. Interesting to see what happens with strategies. We know some took 2 last time. How important will tires be around here? Probably not very. Dave Blaney is stuck on the outside going very slow. He lost a lot of momentum right there. It's going to allow Harvick up into the lead. And now Scott Wimmer up into the lead now, so things are shuffling up a lot. As there's people coming out of the pits as well, so this is going to be interesting. And Bobby Hillin used to drive the 77 car? It's a possibility. I only really know him from driving the 8, right? That's the one he drove quite a bit. Because Greg Biffle's very slow here on the bottom. I would probably pit if I were Harvick to get out of his way. Uh-oh, Harvick's going to be all by himself. And he's going to get his nose chopped by Greg Biffle. That would probably be a fight. Very interesting to see what happens with strategy here and where people will come out on the final pit stop. Harvick still not coming to pit road. Don't know if this will benefit him or hurt him. There are some lappers that might slow them down, although they've kind of broken away from the pack behind. Harvick's gonna have to slice and dice his way through. He'll go with Jarrett down to the bottom. It's getting a bit awkward as Kenseth is very slow on the bottom. Oh, that kills Harvick's speed. That is not good. Harvick will still stay out. He's a madman. This is not going to work out. I can't imagine it will. Pretty much everybody else has hit pit road. It's like maybe 7 or 8 cars have stayed out up into this point. It's really getting hectic here. As Dave Blaney is going to go to the inside. Kenseth's going to cut down in front of his nose. Dave Blaney will take over the lead. And all of a sudden, Mark Martin back up into 3rd position. Jeff Burton very slow on the bottom. Dave is going to have to go into pit lane. And he will. All right. So we got another group coming in here. We're going to see what they do on strategy. Not sure what these guys did the first time. They probably took 2 tires. So they did come out with Martin and Wallace, who we saw took 2. So it's going to be left sides only. So they took rights the first time, going to the left this time around. Blaney gets held up a little bit there on pit road. The only race he ever attended was in June 2005 and Biffle won it. That's good. Yeah, the only races I've ever been to been at Infineon, Sonoma, Sears Point, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so Bobby Hamilton, the first one off of pit road in that group. Looks like Martin and Wallace stayed out, so we'll go up to them, see what they're doing. So they still have not come in, although they are doing everything together up at this point. It's an interesting strategy maneuver between a Ford and a Dodge. It's getting a little bit hairy here down in turn 3. People very slow. Surely they have to come in this time. Oh, they're going to stay out even more. And they're going to get slowed so much by this group of cars. Is it Michigan, so it's hard to see the whole track? Yeah. Those bigger tracks, it's tough. I mean, obviously at Sonoma, you can't see the whole track. I would usually sit near the S's, though. Lots of good action over there. And Mark Martin will come in, but Rusty Wallace will stay out and take the lead of this race. Very interesting. And now Scott Riggs stays out with them. Although Scott has already come in, so it looks like Rusty will be the last guy staying out here. Jimmy Johnson, I don't think is pit either. He's in 2nd position now. Rusty will split the middle with Elliott Sadler there. He's gotten through this pack fairly quickly, but I have to imagine he lost a good bit of time. Rusty will go to pit lane here, so we're going to have to see how this works out for him. He is just about the last car. Would have loved to see a race at Bristol. Yeah, that would be very nice. I've obviously been to Sonoma. I've been to Fontana. I haven't seen a race there, but I've seen the track. And same thing with Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And then I've been to Indianapolis. Those are the only 4 tracks I've been to, but I've only actually seen a NASCAR race in Sonoma. Alright, so Rusty gets 2 tires. Where will he come out? He is the leader. Oh my gosh. What happened? Ricky Rudd is looking like a modified out here. I guess he's not going to be winning the Daytona 500. Will anybody be close enough to Rusty, or will he have undercut like a treat? I see the pack coming behind him. I mean, he's gonna get out with the lead, it looks like, but I'm sure he's gonna get caught. He has no help. No, Indy is just like something I can never describe. It was one of the greatest days of my life being at that race. I know that sounds dramatic, but it was just unbelievable. Rusty will lead, but look who's coming up quick behind him. It's going to be Mark Martin. Oh, they get pretty close out there, but Martin with so much more momentum will take over the lead of this race. We thought he'd be a player near the end, and he is, as we've got a 5-car pack up here. Will Martin clear Ricky Rudd? Uh-oh, it's getting a little bit awkward. Kills Martin's momentum. Bobby Hamilton Jr. with a look, but no, they will just go single file. Has Ricky Rudd, who had some sort of incident that I guess that didn't bring out a caution, but my goodness, got smashed up. All right, so we got a 5-car battle here. 22 laps to go. Run through the field, it's pretty spread out now. There's a good pack from about 4 to 6 seconds back. And then they get pretty further. Looks like Jeff Gordon made his way up into 25th, 15 seconds, so he will need a caution if he wants to contend. Tony Stewart has gone out of this race with a tire issue. You hate to see it after he dominated the first section of this Daytona 500. Yeah, poor Ricky Rudd. He was up in the front. Uh-oh, we got somebody else in trouble. Oh, it's Carl Edwards. He will not finish his rookie Daytona 500. It is a clean 5-car train up at the front. Start getting 2 by 2 here. See if that slows them down enough to bring anybody else behind them into it, but looks like most of the fastest runners in this race are up in this top 5, as you'd expect. You know, Mark Martin has made many power moves to the front. Rusty Wallace has been there with him the whole way. Kevin Harvick has made a lot of strong moves, and Dave Blaney's been hanging in the front of the pack the entire time. I would say the only surprise, really, is Bobby Hamilton Jr. up there. Haven't really seen him in the front that much in this race, but yeah, no backflips today. Rusty will look to the inside. And nobody's going to go with Mark again. He has no friends in this race. It's going to Wallace up into the lead. Dave Blaney probably looking to take second now. And Mark is going to shuffle all the way back to the back of this train. It's getting a little bit dicey here for second place, as Harvick's going to look to the inside of Blaney. He's been able to make big moves on the inside. So these 5 have quite a bit of space behind them to that pack behind. Has about 10, 12, 13 drivers in it. See if they're able to catch up. They might be able to if these guys keep racing like this, as Harvick now powers to the lead. To see here, it was 5.4 back to Scott Wimmer in the 22. Last time past the line. And this time it's 5.7 to Jeff Burton, so they are pulling away. We have a prediction of Hamilton getting the win. The man who's not even been a factor, even though he's been hanging in the top group. Very interesting. Just for fun, yeah. Why not? Although, look who's making a move on the inside again. It's Wallace and Martin. Those two, I don't think anybody's going to be able to beat them today. They've always just been able to get right back to the front within a couple laps. Looks like Martin's going to make the move here on the inside. Not quite. Wallace will come down and chop his nose clean off. It's like these guys are approaching a lapper here. Mark Martin's going to make a move to the inside. He's going to get it done as nobody goes with Rusty. Everybody goes with Mark this time. Mark Martin, once again, the best view in motorsports. Lead of the Daytona 500. Who is that up there? Have to wait and see once they get a little bit closer. Oh, it's Terry. Terry driving by himself. That's sad. Oh, Dave Blaney making a move to the inside. This might actually work out. Terry serves as a pick. Mark's going to go to the outside. Uh-oh. Dave's in trouble. Just going to get to the outside. Oh my gosh, Terry Labonte's going to block Dave Blaney all the way up the track. Oh, Terry is absolutely killing him back there. What a maneuver. All of a sudden it is a two-horse race. Hey, I appreciate you, John. Thank you for always having positivity about the channel. It's good to, get to share this stuff with people. And yeah, you're right, it has been growing quite a bit. I mean, there was a good long while, and I mentioned it before, where I had like 10 people watching my videos, but now it's like, getting to the hundreds a lot. And it's just crazy to me. So it is much appreciated. Your comments, are always good motivation for me, so I thank you very much. It's going to be interesting to see if these three will catch back up. It was 0.93 back to Dave Blaney last time across the line. I think they're catching. They are, so these five will still be in it. Don't look now, but Elliott Sadler in 6th place has the gap down to 4.85 seconds. Definitely closing in ever so slightly. That pack behind, a lot of cars in it. Looks like we got Ricky Rudd up here as well. Could cause chaos. Will they clear him? Uh-oh, they check up a lot. Like a lot. Oh my gosh, they just lost a ton of time. That is not good. And Elliott Sadler almost has it under 4 seconds now. So Ricky Rudd's going to pull down in front of Dave Blaney. That's a disaster. I don't think Bobby Hamilton's looking too good now. They're coming to get 10 to go. The top three are probably the top three strongest cars we've seen today. And oh my goodness. It is now down to 2.48 seconds for that pack behind. This might get real interesting here. Yeah, you're predict. I don't think they're gonna have to group up and get back up to these three. Which is possible. We'll have to see what kind of time the gap is right here. Take a look back there. So they're pretty well lined up. Ooh, 2.8 actually lost. I think these lappers and then the top three being lined up might be a bit too much for him. Anybody in front? Oh, we got one guy. See how much it slows down this front group. Looks like Jeff Burton managed to make it clear there on the inside way back there. It's the top three shuffles. See what the gap looks like. 2.7. So Dave Blaney falling back to that group, so maybe if they get hooked up, they can run down this top three, but they've been so strong. And they are nose to tail. Well, that being said, Harvick will look to the inside. If they go 3 wide for the lead, they will 3 wide for the lead through 3 and 4. Rusty's got the advantage. Mark Martin in trouble way out on the outside. Rusty will clear up into the lead. So they turn on to lap 94 now. The 50 is going to kill their momentum, and all of a sudden, Jeff Burton back there. I see him. He's come onto the screen. Can they get up to them? They need to do is get a sniff of draft, and I think there's a chance. So this is what this top three needs to do. They just need to stay in line with each other. See what the gap looks like. Oh, they got it under 2 seconds now. Can they clear the 50? Oh, we have a caution. Is that going to end the race? Did Rusty Wallace just win the Daytona 500? Oh my goodness, this is going to change everything. Lap 95. We're going to have to wait and see here if they will get back to green. Oh my goodness, everybody just got brought into this race. Well, now, I mean, if it is tough. I'm going to pick Mark Martin assuming it gets back to green. So what exactly brought out this caution so late in the race? Gonna have to see here. Back up a little bit. Anybody in trouble? Anybody marooned? It look like it at this point. Looks like everybody's running okay. Caution's out right here. Anything? They just came out, so something just happened. Where is the caution? Elliott Sadler? Or Ricky Rudd? Anybody? Anybody crash? Mystery caution? NASCAR causing problems? Let's see, when does it come out exactly? Now I'm very curious. Phantom debris? Okay, it just came out. Who caused this caution? It's a mystery. Phantom debris caution to cause a good finish. Well, well, well. NASCAR, you've done it again. I'm gonna be watching this pace car to see the lights go out. This is gonna be very interesting because now that brings a lot of people into it. Oh, well, looks like this guy might have had something to do with it. That's why he's not running well. Alright, so it's going to be very interesting. We also have Jimmy Spencer here, fourth in line. I don't know if they're going to make him drop to the back or what, or if he's going to be on the inside. That might actually be what happens. And we'll see what happens with the pace car here. When those lights go out, we'll know we're going green next lap. Of course, the worst part about Daytona is the pacing. Let's see, will the lights go out this time? They do not yet. It's going to be at least 2 more laps under caution. So we may see a green-white checker here, actually. Should be appropriate because this was the first Daytona 500 to go to a green-white checkered. I really hope they're able to get back to green. This would be a disappointing end. Take a look through the field. Rusty Wallace is your leader, followed by Harvick, Mark Martin, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Casey Mears up into 6th position. Haven't seen him much today. Then Scott Wimmer, Dave Blaney, Bobby Hamilton, and Jeff Burton make up your top 10. And we got quite a few cars, several laps down here. 2 retirees, Mike Bliss 6 laps down. Greg Biffle 4 laps down. He must have pulled it into pit road. Let's hope those pace car lights go out this time. That we're able to get back to green. Come on. You know you want to. What would NASCAR have to gain from Rusty Wallace winning the Daytona 500? It's conspiracy theory. Oh, baby. Here we go. So it will indeed be a green-white checkered finish. And I guess since we do have the rest of this lap, we can take a look at what happened to Jeff Gordon. See what indeed brought out the caution. And even at 16 times speed, these pace laps suck. Okay, so he was on pit road. It wasn't this that caused the caution. They were slowing down and he plowed into the back of somebody. So it wasn't that. So I don't know what caused the caution. It was already out before that happened. All right. So it will be a green-white checkered finish here, as they will restart single file, so this is going to be very interesting. The lap cars do not get to move to the front on the inside, so Jimmy Spencer's kind of going to be a blockade there in fourth. See if any of those guys who finally have a chance to get to the lead can get past him. It's going to be a two-lap shootout. Yeah, I don't know. It's inexplicable. NASCAR just wants, yeah, it's phantom debris. They just wanted a good finish. They said a three-car pack isn't good enough. All right, here we go. Final restart. We get the green. Harvick looks to the outside, but it's not going to be there. They hit lap 99. Jimmy Johnson going to look to the inside of Jimmy Spencer. Don't think he's going to get there, but Kurt will get around on the outside, so he's going to have a chance to win this thing. Just a couple laps ago, he was dead in the water when it came to winning this race, but he will get a chance. Mark Martin's going to take a look. He's been the strongest car all day. Kurt Busch is absolutely flying up towards the top three. He will pass Harvick on the inside. Rusty Wallace will take him down to the white flag one more time around the track. Can Mark Martin get there, or will Kurt Busch challenge? Jimmy Johnson also now there. Greg Biffle isn't even on the lead lap. He's like 4 laps down. Mark Martin's going to go to the inside. Mark will take the lead now, as Rusty Wallace's hopes and dreams are all but over. Can Mark hold off the hard charge? Is Kurt going to get to the inside in time? He's not going to get there. They're going to go through the middle of turn 3. Mark has about half a car length now. I don't think anybody's going to get to him. And Mark Martin is going to come down and win the Daytona 500 as Jimmy and Kurt go side by side. Kurt Busch beats Jimmy Johnson to the line for second position. And Mark Martin comes through. I knew it. They wanted Mark to win this race, and they made it happen any way possible. Dave Blaney with a strong 4th place finish after all the trials and tribulations. Rusty Wallace finishes 5th after being in the catbird seat. And Bobby Hamilton comes back for a 6th place finish. Well, that was quite a race. That was a very good finish, actually, in the end. And Jeff Gordon, the last car on the lead lap, in 29th. We'll take a look at the final standings here. Mark Martin with the win. Busch, Johnson, Blaney, Wallace, Hamilton. Scott Wimmer with a nice top 10. Kvapil, Leffler, top 15. Good stuff. Kyle Petty, 22nd on the lead lap. No problem. Jimmy Spencer, you were causing problems all day long. All right, well, I hope you guys appreciated that. I appreciate you being here chatting with me, John. That's where we're going to leave off for tonight. It is getting pretty late for me, and I'm sure for you as well. So, yeah, I'll probably be doing this more often going forward. If you do check out this VOD, expect some more late night races. Probably going to be pretty unpredictable. Just felt like doing this and testing some things out with the stream. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.